Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks. Movies, TV, sports, flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. Welcome to the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you see on tube or screen. I like to get in here and give my unique perspective, because after 46 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about this movies, TV, sports, and flicks. I'd like to tell you about it, because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Mongolia. Got some plays over in Mongolia this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Odoraba. In Mongolia, I heard that Genghis Khan is the richest person in history. According to some article I read, they said that Genghis Khan is the richest person in history. Nobody's been richer than Genghis Khan. You know what? I kind of believe it. It sounds like that's probably true. Now, some guy on Instagram was saying it's not true, but it just sounds right. I mean, it just makes sense. Anyways, very cool. You have the richest person in history that's from your country. Although I heard that guy's probably not the nicest guy, you know? But I mean, I guess to be rich, it takes being an a-hole. I don't know. So thanks for listening. Appreciate God's gratitude. And just FYI, back then was schoolboy radio DJ. But I never got a job. I think I never became a radio DJ because I wasn't rich. If I just would have been rich, maybe that would have helped me become a radio DJ. But I wasn't. And it allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet. So it's got to be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts. Not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, G.I. Joe, streets, roads, space, volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just beware, just watch out. Anyways, I can ramble all day, but I won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I rap, and on October 15th, 2022, I rapped again. I just dropped the song Your Own Time over on YouTube. Just dropped it. Now it's an older track, but I just put it on YouTube Music. So if you want to hear my unique rhyming style over on YouTube Music, hear my interesting rhymes and unique beat style, I'll put a link to the track in the YouTube Music, and you can hear my unique style of rapping and rhyming. I guarantee you have never heard someone rap and rhyme the way I do over the kind of music I rap and rhyme. Never. It's unique. So check it out. Put a link to the YouTube Music page where you can hear me rap and rhyme. So I'll put the link below. Check it out. Now let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. Here I am again. Once more. Uno más. Yeah, I came back. Yeah, this week. All right. Not too bad. Not too much drama. I didn't cry this week. I didn't get extremely angry this week. You know what, though? I didn't sleep that much. I probably could have slept more. But you know, when you out here trying to chase greatness and trying to level up, sometimes you miss a little bit of sleep. I get up in the morning, I go to work. In the afternoon, I go to work. Evening, I go to work. I'm working, bro. I'm trying to build this empire. You know, I see guys like The Rock and Jocko and David Goggins. I'm like, bro, I want to make things happen. So I kind of take a page out of their book and just kind of do massive amounts of work. And sometimes while doing this massive amounts of work, sometimes sleep doesn't get done really well. To be honest. But I'll catch up. You know, I'm not going to do it all the time, obviously. But sometimes things just got to get done. Like this podcast. Sometimes it's got to get done. So as I did that, I worked hard. Podcast's getting done. And here I am. It's time to podcast once more. So let's get right into it. And this week, like every Sunday for the past, I don't know how many Sundays, we are going to talk about my favorite franchise on planet Earth. And you know what it is, right? If you've been here, you know what it is. But I'll tell you in case you've never been here before, my favorite franchise on planet Earth in the universe is the one and only Star Trek. And this past week, I got to see Star Trek Lower Decks, Crisis Point 2 Paradoxus. right? So just watch that. Very cool episode. Now, before I go any further podcast, just got to let you know a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. And second of all, I do own some shares in the parent company of Star Trek. I love Star Trek so much, I bought some shares. So now I own a little piece of it. I just want to be fully transparent to let you know that I do own a little piece of Trek. So I just kind of want to let you know that I own a piece of Trek just to be fully transparent. So now that I told you that, let's get right into the podcast. So ladies and gentlemen, this episode, like all the other episodes of Lower Decks, is phenomenal. There was a lot of cool things happening. There's a lot of Easter eggs. There was a lot of, making fun of themselves quite a bit. There was so much going on in this episode. There's a lot to digest in this episode. So many different things and so many different levels just going on with this episode. And I could get into that, but this podcast will go on for quite some time. So what I want to do is get into a few interesting things from the episode that I want to just dive deeper into. And like the other podcasts before these, I'm going to go deep because somehow, some way, Lower Decks lets you go deep. You think it's a cartoon, it's funny, ha ha ha, but you can go deep because there were some deep concepts touched on this past week. So let me just start off with the one thing I want to talk about. Boimler. You know Boimler? Yeah, he had something very tragic happen to him. He experienced a loss. His clone, I think it's his clone, I'm pretty sure it's his clone. His clone had passed away, right? So his clone passed away. It was really affecting him pretty hardcore. And it had him questioning the meaning of life. Like Boimler's like, man, my clone died and he was questioning the meaning of life. He's searching for the meaning of life. Like he's thinking about it. He's stressed about it. He's like, oh my God, what is the meaning? And when I saw this, I knew right away. I was like, I've been there many times. I've sat in this space where I live at and I've pondered this many times. I've looked in the mirror and talked to myself, said, what is the meaning of all this? Many times I've done that, many times over the last 3, 4, 5 years, even longer than I think. I've done it quite a bit. But yeah, once I saw him doing there, I was like, yeah, I've been there. I was like, I know this Boimler. I experienced death back in 19, a very heavy, hard death. The hardest death I ever had to experience, I experienced in 19. And since then, I've been kind of pondering the meaning of life regularly. So I know that I've been there, Boimler. And to see that reflect on the tube was like, yeah, I understand, Boimler. Searching for the meaning of life. So he goes on deep rabbit holes. He goes on to just searching for the meaning of life. And on the other end of that, on the other end of searching for the meaning of life, he runs into the one and only Sulu. And Sulu gives him some wise words to kind of chew on and to ponder. And I feel he's more at peace. And now in my personal life, I try to move the samurai way. And the samurai do this. Every day a samurai wakes up and meditates on death. Yeah, now I'll be honest. I kind of do that on a daily basis to kind of reflect on death. Now you might be, Captain, why are you doing that? Don't do that. I kind of model my lifestyle after a samurai. A little, just parts of their lifestyle, I do that. I kind of think of myself as a Neo Bushido, a modern day urban samurai in some ways. I do train in martial arts. I do study Buddhism. I own a copy of the Hagurian. I've owned it for many years. I read it regularly. I meditate, burn incense. I kind of model my life for many years like samurai, like let's be real. And one of the things they do is they do meditate on death on a regular basis. Every day a samurai wakes up and meditates on death. And I kind of do that. And I feel if you do that, it just makes navigating life so much easier. Because in the grand scheme of things, we're all dying, bro. So it makes things just a lot easier just to digest and deal with, right? That's the end game. I'm not trying to be morbid here or negative, but that's where we're all going. That's the destination. The only question is the how and when. That's it. We all going there. It doesn't matter what kind of title you got. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what language you speak. We're all headed there. And I don't mean to be negative, but that's some real stuff. And a lot of times, if you kind of make yourself aware of that, things make things a little bit easier. It's really helped me considerably. So just modeling after the samurai way of life has kind of enhanced my life. Anyway, so part of that is kind of reflecting on death and kind of searching for the meaning of life, like Boimler did in Star Trek Lower Decks. And it appears that Boimler got some closure, but in the future, maybe he'll still reflect and ponder on that. Also, his clone's death, okay, real quick, there's going to be spoilers right now. That'd be heavy spoiler, big spoiler. So in the episode, Boimler's all stressed about the death of his clone. But it turns out his clone actually didn't die, bro. He didn't die. His clone didn't die. He's not even dead. So in the future, maybe the Boimler will become aware of this. and it'll change his kind of mindset as far as the meaning of life. Now, let me kind of pivot into that. So, some big reveal happened at the end of the episode with him being alive. But not only is he still alive, okay, Boimler's clone is not only still alive. Okay, that's a big deal. But let me tell you this too. Boimler's clone is alive, but also he is a member of Section 31 now. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Because if you've heard these podcasts before, you know that I love Section 31. It is one of my favorite things about Star Trek. Now, if you've heard these podcasts as well, you know I love spy stories. I love espionage. And so Section 31 is the blending of espionage and Star Trek into one. It's the perfect blend of espionage and Star Trek. I cannot wait for this Section 31 show because it's going to blend my two favorite things. Spying, espionage, and Star Trek into one. I love spying, espionage stories. It's pretty apparent if you listen to these podcasts. And I love Star Trek. And I cannot wait for when they blend those together with Section 31 show because I heard it's still coming. So that moment when I saw the episode where that was the big reveal at the end, like he's part of Section 31, I was like, oh yeah. I so hope that Lower Decks tells some Section 31 stories. I cannot wait for that to happen. And one additional thing, something interesting. So this past Sunday, I got some Section 31 memorabilia. Got a little collectible for Section 31. Periodically, I'll get some collectibles for Star Trek. And this week, I just happened to get a Section 31 collectible. This is earlier in the week. And then fast forward when the episode dropped on Thursday, I'm watching the episode. Section 31 was in the episode. I thought that's absolute craziness. Out of all the weeks of the year I could have chose to get a Star Trek collectible of Section 31, this is the week I chose, right? It just worked out that way. And it so happens the week I get the Section 31 collectible, it's in Lower Decks. It's so crazy. It's absolute madness. Like out of all the weeks I could have chose, all the days I chose the week that's in the episode. It's so awesome. Now I love Section 31. And a lot of the Star Trek memorabilia I've been getting lately has all been Section 31 memorabilia. I owned a black badge. I had to get that black badge. If you've seen Star Trek Discovery, you know they got those nice Section 31 badges. As soon as I saw that badge, like, bro, I got to get that badge. And so what's one of my favorite pieces of Star Trek memorabilia is the black badge. So a lot of the collectibles I've been getting for Star Trek has been Section 31 in the last few years. That's pretty much it. So I'll post a new collectible on the socials. You can see the Section 31 collectible I got. And maybe we'll see some more Section 31 stories. I'm pretty sure that the Section 31 series is still happening. Last I heard, it's still happening. I don't know what they're waiting on, I don't know what the holdup is. But like I said, it's going to be a blend of espionage spy with Star Trek. It's like this show was made for me. If you've been listening to these podcasts, you know how much I love spy stories. You just go down the list and see all the different spy series and shows I talk about. And you know I love Star Trek. I talk about Star Trek all the time. Section 31 is going to be the perfect blend. I cannot wait. It's going to be so... I don't even know what it's going to be about. But I know it's going to be dope. I know it is going to happen. It's going to be dope. I can't wait. Who knows what's going to come out. But I'm patiently waiting. So anyways, this episode was so dope. There's so many things happened I didn't even talk about. But this was a phenomenal episode. But the things that stuck out to me the most were the, Boimler questioning the meaning of life and the Section 31 aspect. I can't wait for more Lower Decks with Section 31. It's going to be so dope. So anyways, if you have not seen Star Trek Lower Decks at all, I highly recommend you check it out. It is a phenomenal show. It's so dope. It's Star Trek at its finest. It's exactly what the Star Trek universe needed. Check it out. It's over on Paramount Plus. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Glacius gratitude. And until next time, we'll see. Health is like money. We never have a true intent of its value until we lose it. Josh Billings. Till next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.